Hey, Coach, I know there's no moral victories. What can you take from being closer but not being able to get over the hump?
The fact that we need to find a way to be a little bit better and find a way to win. Uh, uh, I would say the beginning of the game was not great for us. Uh, we did not do a great job of apparently presenting the game plan or executing it, or probably both. So we will do better next time. And overall, um, like you said, there's no moral winners in sports. It's a zero-sum game, and we will do everything we can now to rest after this like very physically and emotionally very tough stretch. Obviously, the 3 games and everything that's been going on, and once again, like it's very hard to ask anything more from our guys. Like they're leaving it all out on the floor on a back-to-back. That type of competitiveness, um, camaraderie on the court. They're really doing everything right, and they deserve a reward for it. But unfortunately for us, it wasn't in these first 3 games. But heading into the next game, we do everything we can in the meantime to make that happen.
Uh, how do you uplift a team that's gone through as much as they've gone through and is probably hurting, after another close one like this?
Yeah, yeah, you can sense they are hurting. Everybody's hurting in that locker room. It hurts when you really put yourself out on the line, and you come up a little bit short. But that's life. That's sports. Um, that's a natural growing pains, and I don't think it's something you need to run from. I the message to me is very clear. With this type of effort and intensity and togetherness, like we can achieve a lot, and it's just the time frame that's or the timeline that's tight right now for us, and that's the good news. But there's a lot of things we can now like actually work on, because the base seems very stable when you look at how we are playing overall when we do execute.
Tuomas, you talked about it a second ago, but this was going to be a tough stretch no matter what was happening with the coaching change and everything else. It's just 3 tough games. But where do you guys pick up the pieces defensively, though? Because it seems like the initial starts in the first half and the defensive intensity just hasn't been where it needed to be. How do you guys fix that side?
Yeah, well, there's no magic tricks. It's just uh, coming up with a better defensive game plan, something with more clarity, because I think the clarity always comes before the intensity, because you need to know what you're going to do so that you can do it hard. And that's where it starts from. It starts with me, and then all the way to our staff, and then the players, and we got to be ready when the game starts. And like I said, I think last game, doing the simple things well. It's the simple things well. For example, in the first quarter, this means with Steph Curry, we had a specific strategy that we do not want him to get the 3-point shots, and we want to channel it to someone else, and he found a way to get going anyway, and then it's very hard to stop a player of that caliber. But these are, like I said, growing pains. Couldn't ask for more from the guys. These are mistakes of effort, These are and those or they are not mistakes of effort. They are mistakes that are for lack of practice time yet together, and we will get there once we get a couple of reps now and tomorrow.
Yeah, you mentioned right here, Coach. You mentioned just executing the game plan against stuff in that first quarter in particular. What did you see that allowed him to get going?
Well, he got a lot of looks and different type of looks. So with a player of that caliber, who we've done actually a tremendous job throughout the season in all of the games, he was able to still find ways to get open. And once he gets into that zone, it's very difficult to get him. I mean, we're talking about the best shooter, and certainly also the best movement shooter of all time. And then he was in that zone, and after that it becomes extremely hard to stop him. And I know like our guys were given everything they had, and then you look at, for example, in the second half, there's no longer like scripted situations where that is happening, where you can put two guys maybe on him, but he's so good at getting rid of the ball, relocating, and there's not a, you can't relax for even for a half a second, because he'll find some space and then use that space in order to get his shot off. But it's let's say, a sight to behold, how he operates. Like, he's nonstop and constant in hunting for those opportunities.
Coach, right here. Zach Edey had a double-double today, tied a career high in rebounds with 16. Can you just talk about what you liked about his game tonight?
Well, Zach's actually been a stabilizing force for us right here, and coming at the exact right time with Brandon Clark out with the injury. So he's proven throughout the season that he's very eager to learn new things. He listens. He's very tough. He doesn't shy away from contact, and this is not the first time this season, but it's great to see him do against play like this against this caliber team, and we're going to need that also going forward. And for Zach, the hard part is obviously that now this is the baseline, and this is what we will need in order to compete with the best teams. But everybody in that locker room and in the staff believes that he can take big strides forward, and that's what he's doing.
There was a point earlier this season where you had pretty good distance from the play-in tournament. Now it's very tight. I'm just curious if that's something you talk about with the team, needing to get these last games, if there's any focus on of trying to avoid it, anything like that.
I don't know how other coaches do it, but I never saw the need really to look past tomorrow or today. So we are really, like, our focus is to go against Miami, take the lessons from this game, and apply it to the Miami game as best as we can. We're in a great situation, in a playoff situation, but no matter what, we're going to be in a postseason situation. And I've been 2 times in my career in a very different context, but there's a concept called relegation in Europe that is an existential threat to the whole franchise, which is maybe something that's very hard to deal with when or understand when it's a closed league. But being in that situation twice, when you feel responsible for the whole future of the franchise and everybody's jobs, because you go down a level, you don't have the same budget, and you sure don't have the same roster or people in the office. So I've been twice in that situation, and that has taught me a lot about how to approach also this type of situations, which means just one day at a time. You control the controllables. You do everything you can in that time frame, and no matter where we end up, our games will continue after the regular season, and we will be at our best when the postseason starts. Thank you, Tom. Thank you.